First and foremost, I think we want to express delight that this year's World Environment Day is basically focusing on reducing plastic waste. We recognize as an institution that plastic waste is becoming a serious challenge in Namibia, but also globally. And the EIF has been at the forefront of environmental sustainability. Of course, first and foremost, advocating for environmental sustainability through investment in projects and activities that are geared towards achieving that. I think it is a very well-known fact that at the core of what we do, it is the idea of mobilizing resources for Namibia to address environmental challenges such as waste and plastic waste. So we have invested in various projects across the country to reduce waste. These can be national projects, these can be communal projects, but all in all, it is with the ultimate aim to reduce waste in the country or plastic waste in the country. Apart from that, we have introduced levies. These are environmental levies, especially focusing on plastics. You have noted that when you go to retailers, the retailers will charge you a plastic. This is part of the environmental levies that we are charging, and the money that we are generating from here is supposed to be reinvested into sustainability of the environment and protection of the environment. Additionally, we have partnered with the community conservation of Namibia through the community-based natural resource management program under the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, to look into elements of environmental sustainability, where we have given or financed initiatives of these communal areas so that we attain environmental sustainability. So our footprint is basically in most of the sectors in the country, so that we deliver sustainability in the environment.
Can you please tell us, how does the EIF engage the youth in environmental conservation efforts, particularly in reducing plastic waste?
In terms of conservation, I think you remember I spoke about our involvement in the community-based natural resource management. We are actually involved there in providing financing to some of these community-based natural resources institutions that includes communal conservancies and community forests in the country. And we are implementing programs there that not only sustain the environment, but also they promote and generate sustainable livelihoods for the people. We are actually in that partnership to ensure that we develop some enterprises, nature-based enterprises that will entail sustainable utilization of natural resources, but also uplifting the livelihoods of our people. And this is something that we proud ourselves. But also being in the environmental sector, don't forget that we work closely with the authority, which is the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, in implementing their mandate. And most of this entails also the protection of natural resources. We are also aligned with the Ministry of Agriculture water and land reform, now additional fisheries. So in there, we are looking into the water element. How do we sustainably utilize our waters? Of course, looking at elements of pollution as well, but also to avoid wastage. We are also into the sectors of energy, where we are now investing in and promoting green energy, and we have been financing some of that. But all in all, conservation and environmental sustainability is core to our business.
So the Environmental Investment Fund is working with the city of Windhoek to introduce incentives for recycling. Can you elaborate on these initiatives?
Yeah, definitely. We have an initiative. This is, of course, part of the plan that we have for utilization of the environmental levies that we are collecting. So the EIF has developed an implementation or investment plan for those levies.
And finally, can you just tell us how can the public get involved or support the Environmental Investment Fund's initiatives to combat plastic pollution?
Of course, it's everybody's fight. Our environment is very fragile. We have seen environmental challenges that are caused by human activities in this country in the form of climate change, biodiversity loss. You mentioned them. Water pollution is one of them. So these challenges are very detrimental to our livelihoods. We are a country that is dependent mostly on natural resources. Most people, especially in rural communities, they may depend on natural sources of water. They depend on natural sources to get their food and their energy. So if we do not take care of our environment collectively, as a society, we are going to end up having an environment not able to take care of us. So this is call to members of the public to join only the EIF, not only because the EIF says so, because it is our collective responsibility to take care of the environment that is taking care of us, avoid littering. And also just to encourage that the young people especially, they engage in enterprises or businesses that are aimed at reducing waste. But not only that, they must engage also in activities that promote and create awareness on environmental sustainability and reducing waste thereof. So these are some of the things that are out there and opportunities that are open, especially for young people to tap into as we commemorate World Environment Day.